Hello everybody and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael and today we are looking at a park that is called Red Oak, and it is created by SpiritHeir, like H-E-I-R, like heir to the throne. And some of you might know this creator's name as Chip on YouTube. And so this creator has followed Jasmine and I's YouTube channel and said that this was his first park that was created on the workshop, and so wanted us to take a look at and review it. So as you can see, we've got a lot of different coasters. I'm excited to look at this. I think there are a lot of really good things here, and then obviously a lot of things that we can have some like next step growths on, because we all, when I look back at my first park, I'm like, my goodness, right? We all improve and grow with each park, but there's a lot of really good stuff here. And I'm keeping it at this time of day because it was set to this time when I opened the park, so I'm guessing that's how this creator wanted the park to be viewed. And so it's on 80%, so there's still some percentage to be used. And one thing that Chip messaged me about and said they completely forgot to do a station for this coaster, so that's okay. My stations were, I think the first park I ever did, I maybe had a couple that didn't have stations, or I just took ones off the workshop. So yeah, so as you can see, using the Cedar Point logo here, and this one's called, I think I said Red Oak. I had it pulled up on my phone, so if I missaid it there, I apologize. But I believe this is a building off the workshop, and so that's a good kind of entrance style building. So that looks good. I know these turnstiles are off the workshop, but that's a really good job of utilizing those. Yeah, and so one thing I would say too is just using terrain paint. So I'll kind of go back and kind of show what we can do kind of at the end here. But yeah, I mean, I like how you're using wide paths, because the wide paths are absolutely the way to go in terms of saving on the meter and piece count and stuff. And so when you enter the park, you've got a nice view. You got the Ferris wheel there. You can see some coasters in the background. So I do like how right over that tree you can see that Raptor coaster, or that single rail. And so we come out. Let me get in a different camera mode. There we go. And I believe all of the buildings, he said, are off the workshop. So one thing Chip told me is on his next park, he's going to do a lot more stuff custom. And, that's totally understandable with it being a first park. But you still even have to lay it out, even if you do choose somebody else's creations, right? So let's go to the right. Normally we go to the left, so let's go to the right. But yeah, that's a really cool view right there of that Raptor coaster. And so you got a little viewing point here. If you're going to have a viewing point, what I would do is I would have either something to look at, or I'd put some benches around to kind of have it be kind of like a designated seating or rest area. And man, that security guard looks worn out. But yeah, so if we walk this way, okay, so this is like a little hotel area. So that's a nice style hotel. I believe that one was used by Silix, or created by Silix. I always pronounce the name wrong. It's on his Royston Valley park. And yes, I mean, that's a good job. I think ultimately with this, just doing some terrain paint can really go a long way in adding kind of more trees and changing some of the terrain. And so it kind of helps it from looking kind of plain and stuff, and so I'll show that too. One thing you can do, well, I guess it does have a little curb thing there. So you got bathrooms, and then we go over here, and I like the use of the fencing here. What I would probably just do, in my opinion, is I would have it, because it's kind of awkward if it just stops. And so one thing that you can do here, so let's see. Let's look at the path for a second. Alright, so that deleted there, so that doesn't work. So, because it looks like we accidentally did something here with the path, and now we can't really undo it in terms of it being... so what you could do is you could do... Let's delete that path. And which one are we using? Is it... No, that's not the right one. This one, right? So now I'm just going to make the width longer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it go kind of along the edge, almost kind of bordering it. And then what you could do is you could then kind of line the fence up around this, right? You could put like a little, put some more trees here and stuff like that, or put the curbs around, whatever you need to do. And then, you know, you just kind of want to, you don't want this to just end. It's got to kind of have a specific place where it goes, right? And then obviously just dressing up the queue a little bit, but this looks like an awesome hybrid coaster. Okay, and I do like how you're trying to use like mix and matching different building sets. I think that's good. Now here with this, what you can do is if this one is, oops. So if that's out of place a little bit, because what you do is if you try to move it up, oh there you go, yeah, you just had to shift it up, so that worked. I didn't know if I was gonna have to split it from building or anything like that. So this one we just shifted up. Yeah, and I really do like the coloring you used on this. And so one thing too that I've tried to get better about with making stuff is trying to have everything, you know, trying to have supports inside, like even if it's just beams going across, trying to make stuff as realistic as possible. But let's go ahead and ride this coaster. Okay, I guess there's just one train, so we'll wait for that coaster to get done. As you see here, green, 5.91. I mean, that's good. Results. So the biggest drops, 13 meters, average speed 21 miles per hour. Yeah, so I mean, G-forces look really good. You know, it's not supposed to be a massive ride, and it looks like that's a pretty cool hill. So it looks almost more like a family coaster. Like, I don't think it goes upside down at all. Yeah, so maybe this is designed to be like the RMC family coaster style. That would be my guess, which that would be awesome to have an RMC family coaster in real life. I guess enjoy the ride. Alright, so that was awesome. Really, really well done. Really smooth. Did you do 4-meter method at all, or did you just kind of have longer track length? But either way, that looks awesome. Yeah, you know, here's what I would do with this. Instead of kind of continuing it up like that, what I would do is, and remember, whenever I show you stuff on this one, it's just trying to, you know, that's one thing that's so great about this community, is just we all try to help each other. And ultimately we're trying to get better, right? So what I would do is I would just kind of continue it this way, and then I would kind of put it underneath here. So what you're doing is you're kind of sectioning it off, if that makes sense. Which most of the time I don't try to build this with the stick to surface on, because then it gets all messed up. And so forth. And then this one, you know, I'm just gonna duplicate and advance move. I'm just gonna connect it, right? Doesn't have to be perfect in that instance, but you're not gonna see that. But what you want to have covered is you don't want to just end, you want to kind of yeah, go that way. Also, you know, maybe I would probably switch this out. I'd probably have this side facing the guest, because then in theory you could have people climbing up on this, right? But yeah, really well done. Now here's one thing I would do too, is I would take the terrain paint, and yeah, you got some dead grass, so I would turn that down to intensity down some, and I would just go throughout all this and just kind of, you know, let me change the time of day so we can see a little better. So you can see how maybe you turn the intensity up just a little bit. Let's see if there's a better one to do than that. Yeah, dry grass. There we go. So I would just probably go through and do some of that. I mean, you don't have to do it necessarily to that extent, but what it does is it gives you some of that realism of the fact that, hey, this coaster is sitting on this grass, so this grass doesn't get as much sun as other areas, and it just gives that realistic look to it. So now, you know, I'm just doing this quick, so it's not necessarily perfect, because I probably wouldn't do it quite as heavy. But so now when you look up, you see your coaster, you see kind of the different, you see how the grass is a little bit different, right? And so just from, and you know, areas that might be heavily traveled and stuff like that. And so I just think it adds a little bit to it. You know, that's just my personal opinion. But like I said, really great coaster. That was awesome. Really well done. Let's go back to the time that you had it set towards. And then I like your lighting on it as well. And so, where'd you put the lights? Yeah. So the lighting's really good. I like the lighting on the lift hill. Makes it look really nice. Now, let's go back here. So nice carousel. Now, I do like how you kind of sectioned it around with trees. And then one thing you can do is, okay, so you did do a little train paint there. You can do some leaves if you have the one with leaves around the trees, which kind of shows that leaves are falling and so forth. Yeah, I think, you know, early on I think I did it too much, but I've been trying to do a better job of having it be more, like, just enough. That's weird. I've never seen them walk in an area where there's literally not a path connection. That's super weird. Wow, that's weird. So, if you don't mind me showing you, let me show you how I would do this differently. Because I think this is a nice little building here with the, you know, I'd maybe put a couple more signs up or something. But so what I would do here is, let's take out the path. Now, I'm just going to do 4-meter path here. And I'm actually going to take the curbs and everything off. Where's the railing on? Alright, so if I can get the right camera angle, what I'm going to do there, and sometimes it's not perfect, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do that's going to make this look a little bit better. And so all I need to do here is I'm just going to connect that. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going, oh, it looks like a pitchfork. I'm going to place, excuse me, I'm going to place some kind of ceiling tile. Let's see, let me get this wall first so I can get the grid. Alright, there we go. So now I'm going to find a ceiling. And it's all about, you know, what do you want the inside of it to look like. Let's say we want it to look like these temple pieces. So now that's a little bit too high, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it. And then you can color it whatever color you want. But I'm going to split it from the building. And then I'm going to drop it down here. So now I double click on it again, and then I can do that. So now I've given myself a nice looking interior. Nice looking interior. So now you can't see where they are walking, where they're not walking, right? And yes, their shoes are a little bit sunk in, but that's okay. I probably could have gotten it a little lower, but so now the last thing I would do here is I would go to where the curb is. No, that's the wrong spot. Pathing extras. I always forget sometimes where that stuff is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 4-meter curb, and I'm going to put it here because I want to kind of have it be like a distinction of, hey, we're going to a new area of the park, or hey, you're stepping into the building, that kind of thing. So I'm going to make it kind of that light gray. I never really know which color I want to make this. It's just kind of in the moment. Do I want to make it black, gray, whatever. And then I'm going to lower this right there. So now you've got kind of that divider, that separation, right? So, like I said, anytime I'm going over everything, this is just trying to be helpful, give some hints. And so, yeah, I think that works well. You know, change the color, do whatever you need to, right? And that's one thing I did not learn for a while. Like, I remember watching a Shift Seat, I think that's his name, on YouTube. He was doing a video, and I was like, how is he doing that with the flooring tiles? So I just didn't have a concept of that. It took me a while. But yeah, I love this Raptor. Can't wait to ride that one. It looks awesome. Good job with that jump tower, whatever it's called. So now I believe these are dueling coasters, if I saw that correctly, called Liftoff. Okay. And maybe the one thing I would do with the sign is I'll maybe lift it up a little bit and have, you know, some, like one thing you could do. Sorry, I keep jumping in, just trying to, there we go. So what I would do is I'd lift this up. Because I do like the sign you chose. It's lit up, you know, everything that you're doing is kind of here at nighttime. So I'd lift that up a little bit. And then if you go to the framework section, metal framework, you can do this one since this one's on a grid. And then you could, I mean, you could even push this one in the ground some if you needed to. So I'd make that black, put one there. See that one? Now I'm gonna have to, because that sign's not perfectly straight, I have to split it from building, which is no problem. Yeah, so now we've got the sign, you got some supports for the sign and so forth. Yeah, now I do like what you've done here. I think this is a it's not a dueling coaster, it's just a double launch. Do I have that right? Oh, this looks awesome. Okay, cool, excited about this. Yeah, I would take that. I think you probably meant to have that go up to the top, and I'd move it to where it's on this ridge. But it looks good. I like the lighting that you used. Man, I'm super excited for this now. Let's see. Let's ride front bumper. So if we look at testing the results, max speed 58 miles per hour. So it obviously doesn't have a big drop. It's more about the launch. So I hope you guys enjoy the ride. Alright, so that was awesome. I think parts of the ride need a little more smoothing, but this is amazing how you time this up here. Like, that's incredible. Really impressive. I think there are a couple spots where I think probably what you had was right here. Yeah, you probably had these inversions custom, and you might have had to change something which caused this kind of change in height like that. But I mean, really incredible design just for how the coasters were laid out. A lot of fun. I mean, obviously you do a really good job building coasters, so I'm excited to see what you can come up with on your next part too. I mean, these are loads better than my first coasters. So now here, yeah, I mean, there's not much theming around here, you know, so maybe just do some more. I mean, I know my wife Jasmine's made a video on how you can do some nice easy theming with flowers and stuff around it. Now, so let's go to the other part. Yeah, I mean, I think the highlight of your park here is this is really cool right here, how you've got this little mini lake and you've got the raptor that goes around here. So as we can see, oh, I thought that was about to come by. I mean, you can just watch it, and here we go. I mean, that's a really cool view, really well done. So I don't know what's back here. Oh, okay, that's a staff room. It looks like we got a pizza place. Looks good. Yeah, so I think what part of this too is there's a lot of blank space, and so you probably could have had this park more condensed than you did, if you know what I'm saying, or do some work with the terrain leveling and stuff just to even add a little bit of diversity to it in that aspect. Yeah, so I like how with this station you've got it kind of curved a little bit with kind of that support. You know, that's definitely different. I think it looks good. So now we've got an American Aero coaster. Alright, there we go. I thought that was pretty good. I mean, it kind of fit in line with what an aero coaster does. So I think that's a good job. Now, for the sake of time, if we go over this way, we'll kind of look at this from the elevated level. We've got a wooden coaster over here, and then we've got this raptor. Ooh, the raptor. Now, I like this. Like you said, the buildings he got off the workshop. You know, I like this. Whoever made this on the workshop, that looks cool. And I like how you integrate it as well. I think that looks nice. And then from the back, you've got that view of the wooden coaster. All right, so let's pause that one as it gets up there. This is called Blue Jay. All right, so there are two trains. Alright, so the reason why this is having to stop here is because of the block sections and how they're set up. Alright, so I think the layout's very strong. I think you just need to smooth some of it more. Like this turn right here just needs to be smoothed some more. You know, I think that would help with it. I think there's a couple other parts where it need to be smoothed a little bit more too. Like right here, kind of has a little bit of an odd look to it. So like if you were to just smooth that out a little bit, but I think the layout's strong. I mean, the speed's not too crazy. I do like how you have this bank the wrong way here, just to kind of make it unique. So I really do like that ride. I just think you gotta just smooth it out a little bit more. And then I like how you're starting with this transfer track here, and you put the extra walkway. So I do like that. That's a nice touch. And then you've got the walkway here for employees. I would just add some kind of a little more detail to it than that, like a pathway for the employees to get there and so forth. But yeah, it looks good. So now let's go ahead and ride this last coaster. Now there is this train here, which I guess you made this more just to be like a ride, because it doesn't really go around the park. It just more goes around this area, right? So let me pause this so we can ride this wooden coaster called Water Dragon. And if we look at the stats, I forgot to look at the stats on the last one, so sorry about that, guys. Biggest drop 22 meters, so about roughly 70 to 80 feet. G-forces look good. Airtime count really good. So let's enjoy the ride. Alright, I think that was really well done. Really well done. Really enjoyed it. Still think my favorite coaster here is either the family coaster or this one. The looks of it, I love this one more. I think that just looks awesome. Seeing that coaster like that, you know. But yeah, really good park. You know, like you said, for a first park, or like I was saying, sorry. You know, I think this is a good job. You know kind of, okay, what you're doing well, what you kind of need to improve on, and you've already told me that you're going to try to make more custom buildings. And so I think it's definitely a good start. I think this is better than my first park for sure. So I would love your guys' feedback and, you know, any sort of hints and advice that you can give as well, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all about, is giving positive feedback and stuff, you know. And as always, if you enjoy this, make sure and hit that like button. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.